Hey everybody, good morning. It's about 11:21 in the morning here. I want to spend just a few minutes discussing the markets. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the S&P, and we're going to take a look at NASDAQ. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. And again, I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So again, what I'd like to do is I'd like to start with our good friend Bitcoin here, and just kind of look at a few things, see where everything is at, where everything is pointing, and then I want to pivot over into traditional markets. So let's go ahead and move on into the charts. All right, so I've got Bitcoin up here. Just looking at this, yeah, we've had a really good bounce. We've had a really good bounce here. Couple things that looks like we're starting to do. As you can see, I haven't updated this particular chart in a while. I've been updating our members on the Discord, as we've been kind of navigating this. I'm going to kind of clean things up as we go. We've been navigating this, and I'm still looking for a bottom somewhere around 38. What it kind of looks like we're in the middle of doing right here, it looks like we're in the middle of an interesting wave 4. It almost looks like it's going to end up being some kind of an expanding wedge, something that we don't really see very often. So it would be very interesting if we were to come all the way up here to about 43 to 43.3. Ultimately, what I'm looking at short term, right? What I'm going to be looking at short term, of course, aside from some, normal moving averages, what I'm going to be looking at short term is some pivots that we need to break. In order to really get bullish, we have to break above some of these pivots. That first one is going to be this guy right here at 42,786.70. Next one's going to be this guy right here. We got to break above that, which is also, again, at about 43,581. If we can't take out these highs, then I really can't be super bullish. Yes, we did have a really great hourly candle close, and ultimately the next hour that we've got right over here, it did kind of confirm upward. And if you want to be really technical, what we did actually have in this area, we had a little bit of a bullish confirmation on this level right here. As you can see, we had a candle here. We had the bullish, it's not even a hammer, a bullish doji. And then we had a little bit of follow through, and it closed above this level. And it basically, after we kind of retested that level again, we saw a nice big move up. And if you look at it on lower time frames, well, this move looks really, really significant. It really looks like, we had a nice V-shaped recovery, some consolidation, and then a push up. But ultimately, I'm going to maintain that we do have to keep below these levels to stay bearish. This one right here is probably the most important one, because if we're in an expanding wedge, very easily we can come up here, from down here, a nice A, B, C, D, E. If we pulled this up just a little bit, it would still be okay. This does look a little corrective for the time being. Ultimately, initially, I thought maybe this was a 1, 2, 3, and then we were going to consolidate for a 4 and then go down for the 5. I still think buys below 40,000 are wise. Maybe 37,350, 37,770, and this level right here, 38,817. Big if we get down there, that's going to be a great place to be buying. I think that's going to be ultimately the completion of the correction from 65. Okay, so it's very, very possible that that's going to be the completion of the correction, coming all the way down here. I thought for a while that it wasn't actually going to happen until February, but yet here we are. So we're just going to have to wait and see, watch things play out. But it does look like we're in the middle of a wave 4, which is going to be a little complex. And then ultimately, I do think that we're going to go back below 40. You're going to have a lot of people that got some leverage below 40,000. And chances are pretty good they are going to get stop hunted. So be prepared for that, because that is very likely going to happen. As we're going through this, I'm also taking a look at some of the positions that I am in. So apologies for that. I just want to make sure that that we are good. We got into some calls on QQQ, which I'm going to look at here in a moment. Currently, it's sitting at $3.44, and we got in that trade at $2.59. So that trade is doing really, really great. So let's go ahead and shift off of Bitcoin and move into some of these traditional markets. So let's take a look at the Qs. What does this look like? Actually, it looks pretty good. We did hit a corrective target down here. If I were to move this up, we hit well, we didn't actually hit the 123.6, but we got pretty close to it. We got close to the 123.6, and I believe that this is a good place to be making an attempt at a buy on the Qs. Look at the indicator. We do actually have some bullish divergence on the hourly. So let me just zoom in here and take a look at this. So I'm going to expand this guy so we can see it a little bit better. All right, so what do we have? Of course, we've got a lower low on the price, significant lower low. And this hourly candle is actually looking pretty good so far. And then we have a higher low on the indicator. And that, I think, is significant enough to be bullish. So we picked up some calls. We've picked up some leveraged equity ETFs. So we're long down here. And, of course, with all of that, we do have some risk management triggers in place. If we do happen to take a nosedive from here, we're not going to lose our shirts on this on these trades. So we've taken profit on the QQQ long. This, again, looks okay. We've got some bullish divergence. Let's just take a look at some moving averages. And this is going to be on the Qs. Take a look at moving averages. We are below all major moving averages. You've got the 100 and the 200 that have crossed bearish, and this would have been on last Friday. We crossed bearish. Things look pretty bad, but typically, all right, not all the time, but typically when you do have a move like this, you have, what we talked about last week. We talked about mean reversion, and likely that is probably going to be what happens here. You've got all of this in severe oversold conditions. You've got bullish divergence here on the indicator. We did not buy these leveraged longs last week, but we did today because it looked pretty good. And now that is now sitting at 353 from the entry at 259. That's not bad. So we are looking pretty good from 260 to 355. It's looking pretty good, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So we're going to go ahead and hold on to that for a little while. We took some profit, and now we're just going to kind of let it ride. So it looks decent down here. So yeah, NASDAQ looks okay. If I want to take a look at the futures on NASDAQ, it does look like we have a bullish engulfing hourly candle here. Realize that the hourly candles on NQ are going to look a little different than the hourly candles on QQQ because NASDAQ is almost a 24/7 market and the Qs are just paper session. But ultimately, we're starting to see some bullish momentum coming out of this. So this looks pretty good. If we can get back up here to this level and we can break 15,500, that's an important level to break. That's also where the 21 exponential is here on the hourly. As time goes by, this 55 is also going to be starting to move down. This level on the Qs right here is the next level of importance at 15,675. Next level right here. This is probably the most important level, which is going to be at about 15,800. That's going to be what's going to control things. And again, that's going to be about where the 100 is here over the next couple hours. It's going to take some time to get there. But the 12 hour, the 1 hour, the 3 hour, they're all oversold right now. And again, you still have bullish divergence on the 3 hour. If you take a look at the 3 hour, you can't really see it very well in the 1 hour, but the 3 hour, you can see the bullish divergence. And again, let me just go ahead and illustrate that for you so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The yellow wave right here, which is our 3 hour, we are creating a higher low while the price action is creating a lower low. This is bullish by definition. So keeping an eye on those are looking good. So the Qs are looking all right. NASDAQ is looking pretty good. After the sell-off that we have today. Now, with all of this, including what I said about Bitcoin, You've got Jerome Powell. He's going to be talking tomorrow. I think there was some confusion, and I may actually be wrong here. I was under the assumption that Jay Powell was going to be talking tomorrow, not today. But that's going to have a big volatile effect on the market. So if you've got smaller accounts, you may want to wait until tomorrow to take any action on anything that's happening in the market because of that. So let's take a look at SPY. So SPY came all the way down here. All right, so let me just go ahead and make a little bit of an adjustment here, and let's just see if we are finding let me fix this here, if we're finding some support at an important level or not. So pulling this up to the top, I want to pull the 786 fib on this, and just to see where that is sitting and see if we are finding support at the, and we are. We're finding support at the 786. So this is also still looking pretty good. Again, you've got the 1 hour and the 3 hour all in oversold all at the same time. Now the daily, which again, SPY is not a 24/7 market. ES is almost a 24/7 market. So we're going to take a look at that here in just a minute. But this looks good for buying, which is the reason why we bought some leveraged positions on ES, and that trade is currently up in a little over 1%. That's not bad for not an options trade at all. We're just taking some leveraged ETF, which of course inherently just basically plays options, but it's basically a 3x position that we took off of this, and still it's looking good. We've got risk management put in place on that trade, so if it goes against us, we don't lose a whole lot. But that's part of trading. You win, you lose, and you want to, of course, win more than you lose. And as long as the return is good, then you're in the long run you're going to be coming out ahead. But at any rate, indicator looks decent on this. But what is more important is ES, because again, almost 24/7 market. We talked about this. We talked about the idea we would be coming down here to 4,700. We actually made a decent amount on that hedge trade, because again, we did have a short position that we opened up here when we were just kind of grinding sideways, and now we're back down here. It of course does not look like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and going up for the 5 at this point. What it almost looks like we are from the top, at least, is from up here. We almost have signs of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then working on that 5, which again could be in. It may go down a little bit lower, but it looks like we've got 5 waves down. It doesn't look like we've got an ABC here. It just doesn't look right, because I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Are we working on that 4? We may take profit on that soon and go down for the 5. The thing about it is here, ES does not look as good as NASDAQ does. ES, the 3 hour is still kind of moving down, pushing down. The 12 hour is down here and oversold. And historically speaking, every time it's been this low, let's just talk about this for a second. Every time it's been this low, let me just outline that level right there. How often is it this low? Well, let's go ahead and just take a look. I'm going to clean this up here. I'm going to turn this off. Let's see here. Let me turn off these guys here, just so that we've got a nice clean indicator, because again, I want to take a look at this 12 hour. When was the last time it was this low? Okay, and again, we're looking left here. I'm going to go to a 4 hours just so that this compresses a little bit more. When was the last time it was this low? It was all the way back here. So let me just go ahead and outline this. I'm going to put a nice vertical line on this and pull the chart back up. When was the last time it was this low? Look at this. The last time it was this low was in October of 2020, October 29th. It was Halloween 2020, which happened to be the end of this entire correction that started on Labor Day in 2020. Now, guys, I purposely did not show the price when I was finding this low, because I wanted to just kind of show you that a lot of times I do this raw and I don't do this live. I didn't prepare this ahead of time. The technicals speak for themselves here, though. We have a low here that hasn't been hit since October 29th of 2020, which again was the corrective bottom here. This chart right here, okay, down, up, down, it doesn't look exactly the same, but it's very, very similar, right? Because in a very similar way, what we've got here is down, up, and then we're going down. Now that 100% target is going to be sitting right there at 45.50. So it's very possible this goes down to 45.50. I would say that that's likely going to be the bottom. That would mean that this is the B, and then we're going down for the C to complete that move, okay? So I'm putting this together, basically in real time. Of course, as you can see, I didn't have this projected. I'm putting this together right now so that we can see this. So 3, and then again, from the bottom here, very easy to see now that we've got a 1, 2, 3 waves up, okay? That would be the top of the wave B, and of course this ABC is going to be on a lesser degree. But then, very easy from here for there to be a nice clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there, I believe this is probably going to be the bottom. If we get down here to 45.50, I would say we need to be getting into some bigger plays to the upside. Things that are, dated out, a little further out. Bitcoin is also at the 618 between July and November 21st on log scale. We'll take a look at that. But again, ES, so S&P looks okay down here. NASDAQ looks okay down here. Now, when I say it looks okay, that doesn't mean that it's impossible for it to go down because, as you know, price goes up and down, right? It goes up and down. It is what it is. That's the way the market moves. But what I can say is we are in that area where it's okay to be a little bullish because the fact of the matter is everybody is afraid. Everybody is scared. And so this trend line, I just pointed this out right here because this trend line, nice pivot here with a good bounce, a nice pivot here with a good bounce. If we get a pivot here, it'll likely have at least a minuscule bounce, right? So I would expect there to be a scalp that can be made there. But again, things are looking okay. Things are looking optimistic down here while everybody is afraid. Everybody's afraid. And again, we've been looking at, we've been tracking, we've been monitoring options, open interest. And I do want to point that out again. Okay, so I'm going to get this right now. I'm getting this data. I'm going to put it in here in the chart so that we can take a look at this because, again, we've been watching this. This is very, very important. How many people were bearish on Friday that really, really made a lot of money? I mean, there's a lot. That had today's expiration, which was 56% bearish, but there was almost 1 million contracts traded and 58% of them were bearish. So, yeah, they're making a decent amount of money, but again, my eyes are on the prize on January 21st. Yeah, there's a decent amount of open interest here for the 14th, which is this Friday, but next Friday, that's the key right there. January 21st, 5 million contracts, 70% are bearish. And, I would say that most of these contracts are going to expire worthless. Only 29% are calls. That's not a lot. We're only talking about like 1.2, 1.3 million. I'm just doing rough math in my head here. Not very many contracts out of this 5 million are bullish. Most of them are bearish. 67% of this 292,000 contracts that were traded on Friday are bearish. So again, we've got 2 weeks, plenty of time for this to play out. But it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit if we took out 4,800 by next Friday, making new highs by next Friday. Again, wouldn't surprise me one bit. We've got 10 trading days, almost 10 trading days before that expiration. So again, wouldn't surprise me if we were to see a significant move to the upside after seeing this move right here, this nice expanded flat, right? From this bottom, a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, and then ABC into a 2, right? If that is the case here, and off of this low, we've got a 1, and then this is the 2. We've got significant movement to the upside ahead of us. Now, again, it's a big if, right? It's a big if. And a lot of people aren't ready to say that we're going to go all the way up above 5,000. And again, we're talking about a significant amount of time before that happens. But this looks pretty darn bullish up here. Okay, so again, it looked like we had the completion of a 3, going down for the 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C into a 2. It's a big wave 2, which means wave 4, when we get there, is probably not going to be as big, but it'll probably be sharp. Okay, when this wave 3 is done, wherever it lands, wave 4 is probably going to be a sharp pullback, because this is not a sharp pullback. This is, you know, kind of like an expanded flat correction. Yeah, is it possible that we come a little bit lower, maybe all the way down here to 4,500? Sure, that's possible. But again, I'm looking at things from the aspect of the indicator, and the indicator is telling me that it's good for a bounce in this area. So let's just go ahead and take a look. I'm going to take a look at what Big Monkey was talking about. So here, we're going to take a look at this on the daily. So we're at the 618 between July and November 21 on log scale, which I usually keep everything on log scale. So July, which I assume is probably going to be right down here, to November of 2021, which is going to be this high up here. So that's going to be that level right there. And yeah, look at that. We bounced off of that 618, gosh, almost to the dollar. And actually, if I took this level right here and actually took it to the bottom of the June low, which would probably be more appropriate, that low is at 28,915.01. So let's do this. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. I'm on a chart that doesn't show any price action from today, so I actually do need to look at this. Let's see here. I don't want to. I want to find a chart that I haven't put a whole lot of markings on. You can see I've been doing this for a while now. I think the Coinbase. Yeah, we can look at the Coinbase. I'm going to just clean that off here. All right. So again, from the bottom here to the top up here, right there, and move on over, which that 618 is at 40,211. If we do find support here and we move up from here, let me just tell you that that first target's going to be at 84,800, right? So big if, but again, right there, we can put a pitchfork on this. We can see where our high probability target would be for something like this if we did create a top here. And again, I'm going to be the first one to be bullish in this area. But this median is going to be where you're going to be looking to start to take profits. You know, once we hit this level here, which again could go into April. I've talked a lot about there being a bullish April. Very likely we come up here, we find some resistance, and then we blow through it in April. You know, we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. We do, to be fair, we do have a significant bounce here off the 618, which I would expect there to be, especially on a daily like this. You know, a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got this A, B, C potential for a corrective target down here. That's a significant bounce zone for there to be at 40,211. So again, I actually believe we're probably going to bounce down a little bit further. Let me throw the 65 on here. So I'm going to put the 65 on here. So let's see here, 0.65. That right there, the golden zone, is going to be between 39,100 and 40,200. That's a small zone. But the kind of a trade you can take off of that, if you get right here in the middle, that's going to be at about 39.5, right? Put your stop loss somewhere on the other side of that 65. That's only 2%. But what's your upside reward on that? Upside reward, take it to that negative 236 algo target. That's 114%. For a 2% risk, I mean, I'd take that trade any day of the week. So again, I've been saying to the members on the Discord where I want to be buying, where I'm looking for there to be a pivot to the downside, or a downside pivot to the upside rather. So we're looking for a pivot, kind of like what we've had already so far today. We're looking for there to be upside movement in the next couple months after we have had, I mean, quite a while. We've had a lot of downside in the last few weeks here. So since November, I mean, Bitcoin has dropped almost 50% from the top. I would say that that's a significant amount. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are scared. So that's what I'm looking to be buying, though. Okay, so I think that's what I've got right now. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. We're at about 15 minutes to noon, so I've got some things that I'm working on as well. If you are in the Discord, just remember we do have a webinar that's scheduled for 1 o'clock Eastern today. So make sure you're part of that because we're going to be taking a look at a lot of different things. So significant education that's going to be had there as well. If you need access to our Discord, there's several membership levels, including a free level if you want access to just the community, just for chatting purposes, sharing ideas. You can find all of that information on bitdoctor.org. The promo code for the new year has ended, so we're back to our normal pricing on that. And if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.